I first got married, we didn't have much.
We didn't have anything.
This is what comes to mind when most of us think of political campaigns, but that's changing. The internet is offering new opportunities to a new group of voters. Melissa Phillips is here to tell us why some candidates are using MySpace in their campaigns.
Well, Patty, as you know, the use of the internet is nothing new in elections. In fact, most candidates have an official website for their campaigns. But what's interesting this year is that several candidates are also setting up another unofficial webpage on MySpace.
When it comes to campaigns, voters get used to seeing the same old stuff.
I'm Jim Pederson, and I approve this ad.
A barrage of commercials, street corners inundated with posters, and an endless series of meet and greets and press conferences.
But the people earning the minimum wage in this state also deserve a fair wage.
This year, though, voters are seeing something new. More than a dozen Arizona candidates are turning to MySpace.com. Republican Chris DeRose is one of those candidates.
It's an easy to find place on the web, and the best part is that it's free. My opponents are outspending me 2-to-1 in this race, and so I need to use every advantage that I can to try to communicate with voters and get my message out.
Democratic Senate candidate Jim Pederson is also reaching out to voters on the social networking site.
I like, when I at the end of the day and it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night, just tuning in and finding out what people are saying.
The site offers voters a more personal glimpse of candidates. Yet ASU professor Bruce Merrill says MySpace has its drawbacks. One of those being it reaches out to a demographic that doesn't vote.
They've got to be motivated enough to go get on the internet, to seek out this information. And even if they get to MySpace, they may want to look at their boyfriend or girlfriend's web page on there rather than a political candidate. So that's the problem that you have, really.
Chris DeRose, though, is a young candidate running to represent a young district.
The median age in my legislative district is 28, and so this is a young district, and this is something that they like to participate in.
Jim Pederson says he's aware voting isn't a high priority for young adults, but he also says that's not a reason to leave them out of the campaign.
We can just get that across and let them know that their vote is so important that they shouldn't leave it up to just any one demographic.
Of course, the use of MySpace is so new, there's no evidence to indicate what kind of impact that will have on elections. But I do want to share one statistic with you that Dr. Merrill shared with me, and that's for voters under the age of 30, the average turnout is less than 35%. So it's certainly not a very strong demographic for voting. Patty?
Not surprising. Thank you very much, Melissa. And the internet